Are we live?
I
Says we're
think
live.
we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Even though Zoom says that it's just now connecting, I know it always is tricksy. It's like, yeah, you're saying that we're not connected yet. but
we're there.
Really are. I am so excited to have Laura Mashinkto in our group today. Did I get it right?
You did. That was impressive.
Yay. Guys, Laura is amazing. She is going to talk to you tonight about beliefs. And one of the things that I love about Laura's message and I love about her support is that she really brings home that it's not like we're trying to overcome somebody's objection. It's we are helping them with a false belief that they are holding. And that, when I heard that, when Laura taught me that, that made so much sense to me and it felt so much better. It wasn't like I was trying to overpower somebody or overcome somebody. I didn't have to try to convince them or persuade them a certain way. I really got to see that, oh, what is a false belief that they're holding on to? And how can I speak into that false belief? So Laura's gonna share some amazing information that you guys definitely grab your pens, grab your notebooks. You are going to want to write down everything that Laura has to share tonight because it is absolutely game changing. So I'm just grateful that she's here. So thank you so much, Laura. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, one of the things that I love about you, I think it was just, we saw instantly how well it fit together, was you have such a heart-centered approach to how you do business and how you teach other coaches to run their businesses without high pressure sales calls or cold messaging or really high tech things. And that's so in alignment with what I talk about in terms of building our marketing and our messaging based on belief. So for those who in this group who may not know who the heck I am at all, I started out as a direct response copywriter in a marketing agency. Now, not everybody knows what a direct response copywriter is. It's basically the person who writes the ads and the emails and the pages that says buy, right? Your goal as a direct response copywriter is to get in front of people and get them to buy. And so it's kind of the culture of it tends to be the opposite of this heart-centered, loving approach that we talk about now. But what I discovered was when I switched out of the goal of selling, getting people to buy, and switched into the goal of shifting people's beliefs, sales went up, right? More people actually bought. Because the thing that keeps people from buying is our beliefs. The thing that gets people to take action, the thing that gets people to change their life is their beliefs. The thing that's keeping especially in the coaching industry, the thing that's keeping people stuck are their limiting beliefs. And so if we can use our marketing messaging to empower them, if we can use our marketing messaging to get them to think differently, and to maybe rewrite and replace some of those beliefs with new and empowering ones that get them to take action on in their lives, we're really doing an incredible service for them long before they buy from us, but also simultaneously showing them how much they actually do need our support, right? Because we're here to help them. We're here to serve them. So thank you. All of that's to say, thank you so much for having me, and how I love the work that you do and the work that I do and how it so seamlessly overlaps together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And by the way, guys, if you don't know, Laura is the creator of the course that comes as a bonus with the Launchable program. And truly, it's amazing. It's got handouts in it. It's got videos in it. It's really a 10-module mini course that takes you through how to create these beliefs, how to attract your ready-ass clients so you don't feel like you're chasing after clients all the time. So I'm so glad that you actually get to experience Laura here tonight and see who's the creator. This is her. This is amazing.
And in that mini course, I go over kind of some of the fundamentals of copywriting, some of the pillars of writing really persuasive copy, writing really good copy. I go over kind of a storytelling framework. I won't go deep into it tonight, but stories are actually our greatest tool in our toolbox for shifting people's beliefs. So I go through a storytelling framework that they can use in their posts and in their writing. So yeah, absolutely. Run, don't walk to get in launch well. Not only are you going to get the incredible program that Christine created, I've seen the back end of it. It's awesome. It gives you like everything you need, but you also get that whole copywriting course, which I think is pretty great too.
Amazing. I can't believe that. Yeah, like it's incredible.
So so when I had this epiphany about belief, and I know I've shared this with you before, Christine, but not everybody here knows. I was actually watching a political ad, and I remember realizing to myself the extent that people will go to for politicians, right? They will donate their money and get nothing in return, right? A lot of coaches hear the objection, oh, like, I can't afford it. The price is too high. Well, imagine somebody believing in you so much that they're just going to give you money, right? That's belief, right? For politicians, people donate their time, right? Making phone calls, knocking on doors. Again, they're not receiving coaching in return. They're not receiving a product. They're not receiving services.
Yeah, they're getting nothing, maybe a handshake and a
right?
wow. Yeah.
And they'll put yard signs in their yard. And if you're like me and live in Florida, they'll hold boat parades, and they'll do all of this because they believe. They believe in this. And that's when I was like, oh, what if we made people believe in something great and something empowering in what we do, especially your community? I mean, we're talking about health coaches. We're talking about getting people to believe in living a healthier life with our support. Like, that's a way better belief system than any politician is selling, right?
Totally. Absolutely.
And so I really dug into this research, and I dissected, what do people need to believe to be true believers, to actually take action, to remove those false beliefs that are keeping them where they're at, and have them buy from you. Make it a no-brainer. Make objections become irrelevant because they have the beliefs in place that make them want to buy from you. And there's 3 of them. So if you don't mind me, I'm just going to share them.
Please, yes, write these down. By the way, if you're here, let us know you're here. Let us know you're here. Type in #live if you're watching us live, which obviously if you're typing in it now, you're watching us live. If you're watching this later, please let us know. Type in #replay. And yeah, just let us know that we're here. We want to see you.
Let me know where you're from. I love to see where people are from. That's fun.
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina. Laura's in Florida.
Yeah, let me know where you're from. Okay. So here are the things, and you guys, I want to preface this by saying, this is kind of advanced ninja copywriting stuff, to be honest with you. I'm bringing you some stuff. This is the stuff that people, when they meet,
book out then.
when they meet me, they're like, I've never heard all this before. So I want to say this. If this feels like big or hard or overwhelming, or like maybe you're having trouble wrapping your head around it, don't worry, take a breath, join Launchwell, get the mini copywriting course. That's going to break down all the fundamentals, and then come back and rewatch this and get the advanced ninja stuff. Cause I always like to bring my best tips that you've never heard of. But don't worry, all of the breakdown fundamental stuff is in there. Take a breath, join Launchwell.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to say, welcome, Kaylee. She's from Minnesota.
Oh, wow. I bet it's cold there.
I bet it's snowy and cold.
Let us know if it's snowy there. Copywriting.
Oh my gosh. Why is
that's going to break down all the fundamentals. We just wanted to make sure our audio was working.
We are in Mercury retrograde, so of course this is happening.
Of course this is happening.
Right, I'm touching no more buttons. I'm so sorry, Laura. Go ahead.
You're fine. So write this down. These are the 3 things your brand message needs in order to make it a no-brainer for people to work with you. And this one here, really quickly, I want to talk about what I mean by no-brainer. This is the difference between being a nice to have and a have to have, a must have for your ideal clients. This is actually on my Facebook Live the other day, somebody gave me a really good example. For most people, a massage is nice to have. We'd like to have a massage, but it's not like, oh my God, I have to have it. I can't live without it. But for an athlete, a sports massage might be a have to have, because if they're operating on sore muscles, they can't practice as well. And the difference that separates those two things, number one, is it solves a clearly defined problem. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but it solves a clearly defined problem. For me, a regular massage, it might feel relaxing, it may feel good. It doesn't solve a clearly defined problem for me.
Hey, by the way, you guys, since I can't touch any buttons without messing things up, will you type in the comments these? So I know we've got several of you guys here.
Somebody write in clearly defined problem,
yes,
because I want you guys to, that's actually not one of the 3 beliefs,
oh,
but it's important. It's important. This is bonus tips.
Cool.
But a sports massage is a clearly defined problem for an athlete, right? It solves the problem of sore muscles. And people see things with clearly defined problems as a must-have, right? When my daughter broke her arm, I didn't ask how much it was going to cost to fix it. I didn't ask how long is it going to take. I didn't care. It was a have to have. It didn't freaking matter, right? And so that's what I'm talking about when I say it becomes a no-brainer. When I say objections become irrelevant. When I say it's a have to have. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's a non-negotiable. Like, you can't just walk around with a broken arm. An athlete can't perform with sore muscles, right? It's a must-have in their life. It solves. So number one, before we get into the beliefs, it does solve a clear problem, right? Business is problem solving, period.
True.
Okay. But these are the things that they believe about it. Number one, they must believe that your solution, right? Business is problem solving. They must believe that your solution is a new opportunity, meaning it's different than maybe the other things they've tried before to solve the problem. Here's an example. People in here are health coaches. If I've been struggling to lose weight and I've tried a plant-based diet and it didn't work for me, I'm probably not going to hire a coach who coaches in plant-based dieting. I'm not going to go back to the thing that I've tried before and didn't work. Yeah. Right? But if you come in and you say, yeah, the plant-based diet didn't work. I get it. It doesn't work for this. The keto doesn't work for this. I don't know all the diets anymore. The carnivore diet doesn't work for this. Whatever, it doesn't work, because none of those things are what's important. The thing that's really important is XYZ, fill in the blank, your hormones, your chemical load, your whatever. It's a new opportunity for me. I haven't tried that. Right? So you've got to communicate how what you do is different from what the other things they've tried before. It doesn't have to be new in the sense that no one else has ever done it in the history of time. It's just your person. It's different for them. It's different than the other things they've tried before. And you have to be able to communicate how it's different. This is like your what differentiates you in the marketplace. What I love about the Launch Well program is it gives you the framework to have your own program and run your own signature system with the freedom to differentiate yourself and apply it to your niche or your new opportunity. And that's what's so cool about it, is because a lot of these programs, they're so tight down that there's no room to really separate yourself and make yourself stand out. But the way you've created this, it's like you get the whole program to teach, but it's not so pinned down that it's like, oh, it's only for this niche or it's only from this opportunity or angle.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was totally what I wanted to do, so that people could, create and have their own voice in it too. It wasn't just something that you're buying somebody else's copyrighted material.
Exactly. Exactly. It's one of the things that I love about it. The second thing that people need to believe in order to make it a no-brainer to buy from you. And you guys, I'm going to throw a little jargon at you, but I know you guys are all really smart because Christine attracts really smart clients. I've met them.
Like you.
Is your vehicle for change. And I'm going to explain what a vehicle for change is. It's a very Laura way of saying they need to believe that you have the bridge that gets them from here to here. You have a vehicle that gets them from here to here. See, they're here with a problem. Remember, business is problem solving. And they need to believe that you have a vehicle that will get them to a result, that you have a pathway, that you have a system. A lot of time in coaching, we call this a signature system. Guess what, guys? That's exactly what Launchwell gives you. That's exactly what's missing for a lot of coaches. A lot of coaches, they know they can help people be fitter. They know they can help people live healthier lives, but they're just kind of going from one client to one client to one client, and they don't have a process or a system or a pathway laid out that says, this is how I take you from this problem to this result. Launchwell solves that. Because now you have a system to say, yeah, this is my program that takes you from here to here.
Yes. And that's the difference when you're working with a doctor or a health or a holistic practitioner. You are basically sharing with them that you have a system, you have a resource. When we talk about going and instead of just saying, hey, send your clients to me because I'm this amazing health coach, you have a system, you have a resource, you have a way that they understand on how you are going to take somebody from Pain Island to Pleasure Island.
Exactly. The doctors want to know that, right? Mm-hmm. They want to know you have a plan. Guess what? The clients want to know you have a plan too. They want to know you've walked this road before, that you know how to get them there. That's why they're hiring you, because of your expertise, because of your experience, because of your plan. It's exactly true. It's exactly true. All right. The third thing, again, I'm kind of throwing out a big word at you guys, but they need to believe in your what I call future-based cause. Easier way to say this would be in the future, right? They need to believe in the future that exists for them on the other side of your program. They need to believe in the transformation that's available to them. You see, marketing and copy by nature is fundamentally aspirational. I like to quote the famous Revlon executive who said, in our factories, we make lipstick. In our marketing, we sell hope.
Mm-hmm.
We, as coaches, as marketers, as copywriters, as business owners, we are literally hope dealers. We create hope. We create hope for a better future. We create hope for a future where our problem can be solved and we can be over on that pleasure island. Mm-hmm. You're giving people hope. And that's what's so cool about doing this work. That's what's so cool is we get to make money. Yeah, that's awesome. But we get to inspire people. We get to create change. We get to give them hope in a better future. And that's what's so exciting about it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that you are just talking about, the Revlon example, because when I first heard that from you, like I started noticing on commercials, I'm like, oh, what are they inspiring you with? And one of the examples that I used with my clients is the Dairy Queen. And so it must have been the summer, obviously. It must have been last summer, because Dairy Queen was like, I don't know what they bought, but they bought a lot of ads, a lot of airtime. And so Dairy Queen, here it was, you got to see this, this amazing elaborate sprinkler system outside with the daughter, and she's splashing and having fun, and the dad is there and he's splashing and he's having fun. And you don't even see the ice cream until the end. And I'm like, ooh, what are they selling? I'm like, oh, they're selling connection. They're selling relationship. they're basically saying, come to Dairy Queen and you're going to have a better relationship with your dad or your daughter, or, you know, this experience. They were selling an experience. They weren't selling ice cream.
That's so true. That is so cool. And when I think about it, when do I go to Dairy Queen? What do? I never go to Dairy Queen by myself. Do you ever go to Dairy Queen by yourself?
Mm-mm.
No,
Yep.
I take my daughter. We go as a family.
Yeah.
It's a bonding activity.
Right? It's ice cream.
It's ice cream. You know, the same thing is true in all things, right? You look at a Gillette razor commercial and you see a woman caressing up against a man, right? They're not selling razors, they're selling the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
and so again, it's this hope that you can have this connection, you can have this relationship, you can have, you know, one of the fundamental basics of marketing is that we're all on some level either selling, health, wealth, career, impact, all of those are kind of in one, or relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a product or a service or a coaching package on the market that really isn't ultimately selling one of those three things. And yet, sometimes we forget to connect the dots for our ideal clients or for our ready yes clients, that's what we're doing, that's what we're giving them. People want better health. People want better relationships. People want, career and impact and wealth. And the thing that's missing from so many people's marketing messages is that connecting the dots, that being really clear about exactly where their program's going to take their clients.
They get into logistics. And this is, most of you guys here have either been in business for a couple years and you feel like you haven't been able to get your business off the ground, or you're brand new and you're just starting and still trying to figure this out. And one of the things that I see many coaches, including myself, I did this too, is I kept talking about the logistics. I kept talking about it's a 90-day program. I kept talking about it's a 90-day XYZ transformational program. And people don't wake up looking for a program. People don't wake up going, oh, let me see if I can find a health coach today and invest a couple $1,000s in a program. Nobody does that. They are looking for a solution to their problem.
Yep.
And yet we talk about, I know I did, oh, well, it's a 12-week program and we meet once a week and it's a 60-minute blah, blah, blah. And it's this, that, and the other thing. And nobody cares about that part. They want to know what's in it for them.
Yeah. There's a saying in copywriting, it's you don't sell the mattress, you sell the good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Nobody cares about buying a mattress. People care about a good night's sleep.
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if you know this, Laura, but my husband actually sells mattresses. So he works with Orthopedic and Sealy mattress.
I did not know that.
That's so funny, but it's so true. Like, people don't care how many coils and what's the gauge metal of the coil and how is it individually wrapped. And then there's this special sewing technique that they're using around the edges. Who cares? They just want to know if they're going to get a good night's sleep. It's so true.
Exactly. But that's how, unfortunately, so many coaches who are still struggling are selling their services. Oh, well, you get this many calls with me and you get you know what I mean? That you get, it's this 90-day program and etc. And what people really want to know is, am I gonna feel better? Am I gonna have more energy? Am I gonna lose weight? Is my skin gonna get clearer? Like, they want to know what's gonna change for them, right? What's the good night's sleep? Maybe they're gonna literally get a good night's sleep.
True.
But that's really the difference between, and actually I have a video on this in the mini copywriting course, I'm remembering now, on the difference between features and benefits. Right? A feature of a program, maybe it's 6 1-hour calls. What do you get from that? What's the benefit of that? Right? Is it staying on track? Is it breaking through the emotions that cause you to self-sabotage? What's happening on those calls that give them value? And so, yeah, our ideal clients, our ready yes clients, they want to know the features, they want to know the structure, but the key here is to always pair a feature with a benefit, right? So
Absolutely.
if you're going to get a mini copywriting course, that's a feature. What's that going to give you? Well, it's going to give you the language you need to communicate the value of what you do so that people see the value in it so that they're ready to pay you. That's a benefit. You're not buying the copywriting course. You're buying the understanding of how to talk about what you do in a way that makes people want to pay you.
Amen. Amen. It's so true. Exactly.
It's absolutely true. I would love to open up the opportunity, if it's okay with you, for people to ask questions.
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm here to just, I can teach and I can keep going on and on about things that'll help you with your beliefs and your copy and your messaging, but I'm really here for you guys. This is your time.
Absolutely. So I know we've got Jeanette and we've got Kaylee and we've got a couple more. Jamie Woodworth. So you guys come up. Well, you can't come off mute. Come off mute and let's just have a chat because you guys aren't in the Zoom room. But please type your questions in the comments. You've got Laura here. And listen, guys, the information that she's sharing with you, she teaches this for money inside of her course. So you've got her here now. Take advantage of her. Take advantage of Laura.
That came out great, Christine.
To ask her your questions. If you are working with, clients that are wanting to lose weight, or if you're working with caregivers, or ask your question. She's here. She'll totally help you with this.
I will totally answer your question. While we're waiting on questions to come in, I want to bring up something else that's really important in marketing and copy, just while, like I said, while we're waiting on questions to come in. And this is something that I think Launch 12 gives you really well, is confidence. Confidence and certainty in what we do. What some people don't understand is that sales is a transfer of trust. It's a transfer of trust to the client. When they say yes to you, it's their trust. They have that trust. You have transferred that trust. That trust comes from confidence. That trust comes from certainty. That trust comes from being clear about your message, about being clear about the problem you solve, about being clear about the results you create, and being confident in it. And this is one of the things, that's an important takeaway for you guys. Number one, it's important for you to understand how important it is that you show up with confidence and certainty and clarity. But it's another takeaway that sales is a transfer of trust. That's a very important thing to understand. And it's kind of a third takeaway. I sort of dropped like 3 golden nuggets on you back. It's a third takeaway here, in that it's one of the other things that I really love about the Launch 12 program is when you're coming to your sales, which, ultimately is what your content is. It's what ultimately is happening when you're approaching a doctor or a healthcare practitioner. It's ultimately that conversation that you're having with them. But it gives you the ability to come with that confidence and certainty because you're not fumbling around going, well, yeah, we might do this or this. You know what you're going to do. You have the plan laid out for you. You know what to say. You have it mapped out for you. And so it's so much easier to come to any of those conversations, whether it's a doctor or a healthcare practitioner or a potential client, with that confidence, clarity, and certainty, and make that transfer of trust.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. And that is when you are confident and you know that you've got a program and you know what to talk about instead of trying to figure it out on the fly, you're going to show up more confident with your holistic practitioner or your doctor or your client or whatever, knowing that also, this is a program, Launch Well is a program that is a proven method where clients get results and doctors recommend it to their patients. So this isn't just like a thing that we're going to Google and, come up with a plan. Like, this is a proven program system that you get to take your clients through.
And it's going to happen when a doctor asks you a question about your program.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have it all mapped out for you, you're going to fumble. You're going to say, oh, well, I don't know, right? You're going to try to be making it up on the fly. But because you have it all laid out, if a doctor asks you a question about, well, does it include this? Do you touch on this? Da, 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 da. You're going to answer it with confidence and certainty.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Yeah. You can say, yeah, we're going to do this, in week 2 or in week 3. This is what we're going to do. And this is why it's important. And this is how it helps our clients. And these are the results that I've seen. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's when the transfer of trust happens. And that's a transfer of trust from that doctor, from that healthcare practitioner, all of that.
Kaylee has a question. She says, is it important that you ask questions in your copy on social media?
This is a really good question. There's a lot of value in asking questions in your copy on social media. And like most things, it's in moderation, right? Like, we know this as health coaches, right? Moderation, 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 right? Water in too much quantities can be bad for you. Mm-hmm. And the danger that we run into with questions in our copy, and I see this actually a lot, so it's a really good question, is I'll see these posts where it's like, do you struggle with this? Are you frustrated this? Have you ever experienced this with this? Are you tired of this? And it's just question, all in the same post. Question, 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 to the point where the person on the receiving end almost feels like they're being interrogated.
Mm-hmm.
And this is such a really good topic to get into, in that people buy on emotion. People make decisions on emotion. And so you always want to be thinking about, what is the feeling you're creating with your content? What's the feeling state? What's the emotional state you're creating with your content and your copy? And if the emotional state that you're creating with your content or copy is almost like a pointing finger at or an interrogated feel, that's not a great feeling.
Yeah.
And so questions can be really useful. I use one of the things that I've taught in Christine's program, and Christine may very well teach it too, is to use questions to work the social media algorithms, right? Short questions to work the social media algorithms, because those things get a lot of engagement and a lot of people commenting it. And when they comment, they're more likely to see your other posts in the future. So they're more likely to see your other pieces of copy. So you'll see a lot of people ask short little questions for this reason. It's a great strategy for the algorithm. It's not the greatest thing for copy, because that, like I said, that feeling of question after question after question can just kind of leave somebody feeling like you're just hitting. I mean, how's it feel when you walk in the door? Have you ever walked in the door and had your spouse just hit you with a ton of questions before?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel good. You're like, chill.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that's so true.
Right? I'm always aware of that with my daughter when she comes home from school, because of course I want to be like, how was your day? What'd you do in recess? What'd you do at PE? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I need to calm. I need to not overwhelm her with questions. We can do that in our content and our copy. And so it's a balance, right? A great question can be a good way to hook someone in. First line of your post, ask a question. That's gonna pull our brain in, because our brain loves to answer questions. That's what it's there for. It's there to solve problems, answer questions, blah, blah, blah. So if our brain sees a question, that's gonna catch our attention. We're gonna want to answer it. But if it's question after question after question, now we're getting into a negative feeling state.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Kaylee, did that answer your question, Kaylee?
That that answer your question? That was a great question.
Jeanette wrote, Jeanette says, how long is too long of a post? That's a good question too.
I think it was, I can't remember. Do you remember those movie critics? Was it Rupert and Ebert?
Oh, yes.
I can't remember which one of them said it, but one of them said, no good story was ever too long and no bad story was ever too short.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of true of your social media posts, specifically on a platform like Facebook that doesn't have a character limit. Some platforms like Instagram or LinkedIn have character limits, or even Twitter. And of course, you're going to have to work within the confines of that. But when it comes to Facebook, no really good, juicy post is ever too long. And no bad post is ever too short. And so if you have a juicy post, especially a story that has me hanging on every word, and I'm fully into it, it can't be too long, right? People, this garbage about people don't have attention spans is just that. It's garbage, right? People watch, 3-hour long Avenger movies. We have attention span when it's a good story.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
I read long posts. I don't read all the long posts, but when it gets me from the beginning, I want to read and I want to continue reading until I get to the end.
Exactly. And that's what makes a good post. That's what makes a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something that copywriters do that'll help you write that kind of, and short posts are fine, right? So I would say make the post the length of however long is needed to tell the story and no more. Mm-hmm. If there's extra stuff that's in there that's not needed to tell the story, eliminate it. I live by the saying, write fearlessly and edit ruthlessly. So I'll write fearlessly, and then I'm not afraid to remove everything that's not needed. But if a story requires more words, that's okay. And if you want to think of the way copywriters write is there's the goal of the first sentence, is to hook their attention and get them to read the next sentence. And the goal of the next sentence is to get them to read the next sentence. And the goal of the next sentence is to get them to read the next sentence. And if you start looking at your posts and you start looking at your copy from the angle of, does this sentence get them to read the next sentence? Till you get to the final sentence, which hopefully is to get them to click or buy or send you a message. Mm-hmm. Does it do that? And if you ask that question to yourself really critically about your post, you'll get the answer as if your post is too long or not.
Yeah. Can you speak into that last piece that you just mentioned at the bottom of the post? Because I see a lot of times coaches are just sharing tips, which are great, but then there's never call to action, right? There's nothing at the end, which is actually telling people what to do. And a lot of times I hear, coaches say, oh, but I don't have any engagement, like they're not responding. I'm like, are you asking them to?
Yeah. Well, I kind of heard a couple of problems there, if I can. Number one, they're sharing tips, right? That's a problem. Remember earlier where I said people buy on emotion?
Yeah. Tips don't create emotion.
People aren't buying if let me tell you something. If there is somebody watching this who maybe they're getting a lot of likes, maybe they're getting comments, maybe they're getting people saying, oh, I love your post, but you aren't getting a lot of clients. You are creating too much how-to content, too many tips, and not enough emotional content. That is 100% your problem. I guarantee it.
Say that again. Too much how-to.
Too much how-to, not enough emotional. Your content's too much about giving tips and how-to advice and not enough about creating emotion. I guarantee it 100% of the time. If your problem is everybody, I hear this a lot. I get a lot of likes, I get comments, I get messages from friends and family saying, oh, I love your posts, they're so inspirational, but I'm not getting clients. That's 100% your problem. The other thing that you led to, the other problem there is the not having the call to action. Mm-hmm. So one, I'm just going to say it, you need to have a call to action. If you are not selling, you are not in business. You are in business to sell. Businesses sell. You don't walk into, I've never yet walked into Costco and had them say, we're only giving away free samples today. We're not asking you to buy anything. Have you ever seen another business do that?
Nope.
Never seen another business do that. You are a business. You sell. That's what you do. You don't have to be shy about it.
Mm-hmm.
People should expect it from you. And besides, what you're selling is changing lives. Like, take a stand for people who need to be healthier.
Absolutely. They're not going to get their transformation if they don't work with you.
100%.
They have to work with you to get the transformation.
100%. And people want to be led. Remember, I said people want to know you have a vehicle for change. They want to know that you have a pathway to get them from here to here. They want to know that you can lead them. They want to know that, if you watch Star Wars, they're Luke and you're Yoda, right? You're the mentor, you're the guide, you're the expert. They want you to lead them. They want you to tell them what to do. Don't assume that they know you want them to click your link. Don't assume that they know you want them to message you. Tell them to message you. Mm-hmm. Tell them to click your link. Lead them. That's what it means to be their coach.
Oh my gosh, yes. So good. So good. And for and again, guys, I just want to make a differentiation. Look, we are heart-centered sales, but sales have to be happening in your business in order for you to have a business. You don't have a business if clients aren't working with you. So when we talk about sales is not a dirty word. Marketing isn't a dirty word either. Marketing is a way to share your message and how you can help somebody. Sales is the way that they actually get to work with you so they get their transformation. They're not going to lose the weight if they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again that they've tried before. There's a reason why they haven't lost it yet. They need your support, or they're not going to boost their immunity, or they're not going to get a better night's sleep. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with inviting them to work with you, with saying, click the link, let's work together. Let's see how I can support you in having this experience.
In fact, that's the heart-centered approach. Mm-hmm. The icky, the slimy, the gimmicky approach is those who aren't being direct and upfront, mm-hmm. who are trying to, maybe backdoor them into a sale, right? When you take a stand for your client and take a stand for the future that is available to them, you are being a powerful role model. You're being a powerful coach. You're being a powerful leader. You are in your highest form of service. And there's nothing icky or manipulative about that. Mm-hmm. And you can absolutely do it from a heart-centered, loving, caring place.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I learned from one of my coaches years ago was, if you have something that can help somebody, if you have a service, if you have a gift, if you've got something that is going to help somebody, it is your ethical responsibility to share it with them. It is your ethical responsibility to share it with them. And yet so many are so afraid to offer the solution and invite people into working with them.
Yes. Yes. And I love how you said that marketing's not a dirty word. Anybody ever taken one of those personality career tests that's supposed to tell you what based on your personality, what you're supposed to do for a living? I took these in school, right? In college and in high school, I took these, it's a personality test that tells you what careers fit your personality. And all growing up, it was marketing, advertising, and also HR. Well, my dad worked in HR. I sure as heck was not going to do that, right? That's just off the table. Dad does that. But it was marketing, advertising. And I was like, no, this test is wrong. Because I had it in my head that marketing was icky. I had it in my head that it was selling people stuff they don't really need. Mm-hmm. That's what I believed marketing was. And it was actually my first copywriting mentor who taught me that marketing at its best, I'm not going to say there's not icky marketing out there, but marketing at its best is about spreading messages to people who need to hear them. Right? I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for marketing, right? I saw, ads that got me to get interested in copywriting and started me on this career path. I saw marketing, and I received messages that created a way better life for me today than I've had before. It spread important messages to me. And that's what we're doing in our marketing. We're spreading important messages to people who need to hear them. There are people out there, you guys, who really don't know. I know you think this information is just easily and readily available, but especially in health, there's so much junk out there, and there's so much conflicting information, and people are confused, and they don't really know what to do or who to trust. And marketing is what gets the important messages in front of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jeanette has a question, so let's pop into hers. She says, what kind of pictures are best to accompany the post? Selfies, inanimate objects, animals, shapes?
Marketers test this a lot. And one of the things I do is I run Facebook ads, and I can tell you that sometimes I'm actually a little surprised at the ones that test a lot. Here's what I can tell you. Images that catch the eye, right? Think about, if you pull up a folder of images, what's your eye drawn to? What catches your eye, right? That's what I do. Right? If I'm going to run ads for somebody and they send me a folder of images, of them, I open that folder and I go, which ones do my eyes gravitate towards naturally? Those catch my eye. Those kind of images that are going to get people's attention usually work really well. The other thing to keep in mind is that we're talking about social media. And I think as business owners, sometimes we forget that social media is meant to be social. It's a little bit of my soapbox about how it's really important to actually build real relationship and real connection and actually be social on social media, and not just see it as this, oh, I have to create content for my business thing. So many people do.
I know. I'm laughing because it's true.
It's so true. We forget that social media was created for the purpose of being social. And actually, now more than ever, a lot of us need it, you guys. We need that connection, that real relationship, that real community that's available here. But all of that's to say, back to the images, is the images that people come to social media to see are images of their family, images of people, images of, right? So a lot of times, yeah, a selfie of you is going to perform better than a stock photo, because that's what people are there to see.
Yeah.
So that I would think about that. I would think about images that catch the eye, and I would think about what are they actually on social media for? What do they want to see? And those are going to be really good images.
Totally.
Especially on Facebook, you guys. Instagram, infographics perform really well. Quotes perform really well. It's a little bit of a different beast over there because it's such a visual platform.
Right. Jeanette says she loves that you wore a red shirt on National Wear Red Day.
I have a confession to make. I didn't know it was National Wear Red Day, but I'm so glad I wore a red shirt on National.
I love it. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. All right, my friends, we are coming up at the top of the hour. If there's no more questions, then we will, again, if you're watching the replay, feel free to type in your question. I'm sure Laura is a member of our community. Tag her in the post. I'm sure she'll come back around. And
can I have an important thing that I want to say before
absolutely.
we wrap up? I want you guys to hear me on this. If you are on the fence about Launchwell, don't be. I've seen the back end of this program. This is not, Christine didn't know I'm going to tell you guys this. Okay. She didn't ask me to do this. I've seen the back end of this program. I've never seen anything like it. It gives you the entire program for you to go teach and deliver to your clients. No guesswork. It gives you like all the handouts and everything done for you. It gives you everything you need to develop connections with doctors and healthcare practitioners to get referrals from them. Like, it's actually, like when I saw the back end of this program, I was like, it's insane. It gives you everything. It takes out all the guesswork. It saves you so much time. It's like you could keep going on and figuring it out. And you guys are smart people, and I believe in you, and I think you probably would eventually, but it will 100% take you longer. I guarantee it. I can say that with 100% certainty, that this will give you that direct pathway. It gives you that bridge. It gives you that direct, clear-cut place to hear where you are able to connect with doctors, where you're able to get referrals, where I've worked with a few of Christine's clients myself, and they come back to me and they say, Laura, I filled my first group in the first day. Laura, I filled my, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have everything they need. And especially if you're still, maybe you're in a job and you're still building this on the side, or you're still getting going, don't spend all the time to figure this out on your own when she's done all the work for you. That's what I want to say.
So easy and collapse the timeline. It took me time to put all of this together, and I'm basically giving you everything that I used that I know that works because it worked for me.
It's frankly, I think it's ridiculous what she gives you. Like, she literally gives everything. Like, she created all of this stuff and she's like giving you everything she's created. Like, she created all of it.
And you get calls.
Yeah.
And you get Laura's copywriting course, and you get me monthly live, and you get a year in the Facebook group to have your questions so that you've got wraparound support.
It's
awesome.
a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's a have to have. It's a have to have, because otherwise you're wading in the water, you're figuring it out, your growth is slow. You'll figure it out eventually. You guys are smart. I believe in you. But honestly, it's not unheard of for me to meet a coach who's been trying to figure it out for 4 or 5 years. It's probably not for you either, Christine.
Mm-hmm.
When people join Launchwell and I meet them, I have yet to meet one who's not like, oh my God, I had this really great first launch. I have yet to see that ever not happen, because it's all laid out.
Mm-hmm.
It's all laid out. They do really, really good. It's a great program. It's a great program. Run, don't walk. It's going to pay for itself like 50,000 times over. Oh, I got to tell you the copy that's pre-written for you in it. When I would charge thousands of dollars to copyright all of the stuff. Seriously, all of the copy that's pre-written in there. Former copywriter here would have been easily 5-figure price tag up to have a copywriter write all that for you. So
thank you. You're awesome. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. It's honest. It's true.
Thank you. Any other questions? I think we're good. Everybody feels good for now. Sold out live 6-week group programs using Launchwell. Yep. That's what Lisa says.
Yeah.
Yep. Megan made her money back first time and then some. Absolutely.
I know. I know. I got a text from Pam, one of your Launchwell clients. She texted me. She's like, I filled my program in like 1 day or something insane like that.
Yeah, with 10. And then she took clients in to work with her one-on-one too.
It works. If you work the program, it works. And I actually, it bothers me when I see coaches struggle for years and years and years when something like this is available for them.
Totally. And I did. I struggled when I first started. So you've got it. You've got a way to start it. You've got a way to kickstart your business. You can do it right now. You can start enrolling clients. You can bring money in now. It's
Help more people. It's worth it. It's 100% worth it. It's worth more actually, but it's definitely 100% worth it.
It is. I was actually going back through and looking at all, and I'm like, why am I charging such a low rate on this program?
Here's my advice, because actually I want you guys to all, when you get off of this, to go join Launchwell. And then after you guys go join Launchwell, I want you guys to pretend like you paid 15 or 20 grand for it, because that's what it's more realistically worth. Honestly, like that's what, by the time you talk about all of the copy, all of that, that's what it's more realistically worth. And so when you're in it, if you pretend that that's what you paid for it, and you dive into the content and you do it exactly like it says, and you implement like that, it's honestly unfathomable to me that you wouldn't succeed. Like it's like, it's almost funny. Like it's like like it just wouldn't happen if you approach it that way.
Absolutely.
So go buy it and then pretend like you actually paid what it was worth.
Oh, I can't wait to share that with my husband. He's going to love that.
Seriously, that's what I do. That's what I do. When I join a program, guys, that's what I do. I automatically, if I spent 2,000, 5,000, 6,000, I invest in myself a lot. So I join sometimes expensive programs. I pretend I paid 5-10 times what I actually paid for it, because that's how I know I'm going to get results, because that's how I know I'm going to show up. That's how I know I'm not going to argue with the coach, Christine, who knows way more. I'm going to actually do what she says to do, and I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to get results, because that's how it works, you guys.
Yeah.
It's how it works. That's some truth right there. That is some truth. People don't even know how much truth that is.
Oh, Laura, I love you. Thank you so
I love you too.
Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for those those beliefs that I've got 2 pages full of those, you guys. Come back and rewatch this if you want to. Again, if you're here on the replay, let us know that you're here. Let us know where you're from. If you have questions, pop it in the chat. And the link to join the program is inside the comments. If you are unsure about any part of this, I am more than happy to hop on a quick call with you. I'll be happy to share any, answer any questions that you have and let you know whether I think that this or something better is a good fit for you. Either way. So promise we will support.
There's not really a lot better, but yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. All right, ladies, I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday night, and we will see you back here on Monday for the next Soulful Business Training, Monday at 1:00. Laura, thank you so much for all your gifts and your time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.